Yes, my people, I gotta give you it again. Once more, there aren't no such thing as independent like this state called Grenada that is carrying a name saying they're independent, and the name is derived from slavery, which is not even the indigenous name. And the land and the resources are not going to the local people. They're calling it Crown land, which the so-called state are claiming as they own it. Now, how could you be independent when you don't have your land and your resources at your pleasure? And the name that you're carrying is of a corporation that is derived from slavery, that is called a government constitution. It's an illegal process, and it's a destructive and corruptive one. And it's robbing you of your land and your resources. Now you gotta stop giving to this illusion. There ain't no such thing as independent. You're fooling your little children and having them in disarray and a state of delusion. You need to focus on what's right. Now, St. Vincent carrying a so-called 40 years of independence. That is original Uromi. Now, Grenada is original Camahan. There ain't no such thing. You ain't independent. You can't be independent. The only independent island that I've known of is Papua New Guinea, which is located outside of Australia, which is an island 4 times the size of St. Vincent, which is the original indigenous name Uromi, which is Uromi. So I'm going to give you it straight. The corporate name is St. Vincent and the indigenous name is Uromi. The size of that island there is 4 times the size of Uromi. And there's thousands and thousands of indigenous aboriginals that is living there. And they coexist together in unity. Before in the past, the white man used to go there and he used to give them bribes and try to use method of dividing them and causing them to try to fight against one another, where he would even go and spread rumors about cannibalism and all these things. But this is propaganda. You know, when they want to make you look like some alien classic disarray people, they do all type of stuff. They spread a load of rumors and propaganda in you. And the most humble and, tranquil and unified people are the indigenous people. So to ever classify our indigenous brothers and sisters as some psychopathic or murderers or cannibal, that's just a way of, keeping the masses disarray and in a set of delusion. So we have to focus on what is real. The only independent island that I know of, and listen to how I adjust it, it's an island. Don't use the reference as a country, because a country is used by a corporation to define a state. That's an illusion. They are called islands and big land masses, which the bigger walls, which is the bigger world powers, which is United States and all these big world countries that they call continents. You know what I mean? These are where they have the constitutional setup for presidency. And in the smaller islands, they call them prime ministers. Now, all of this is politics, and it's the same slave system that derived from the beginning. And an independent human being are only the aboriginals. As long as you're under the notion or the identification of a citizen under a corporate system that is not of your own, that is a foreign corporation, you are a slave and you are not independent. You have to be begging or stooping to the level of the system for the constitutional law, how they design the system to get what you want, and you have no privilege and rights. So you are not independent. An independent human being is an aboriginal human being and an aboriginal island who is completely free from corporate control, which is derived from slavery, which presently occupy your land and rename it and denationalize you and call it a government or a state. That means you're not independent. So this propaganda going around and this disillusion about fooling the masses and the common people about independence, it's not real. A state or a government that is occupying an island and calling it by the foreign name is not an independent state. An independent island is an island like New Guinea, where there is no government system controlling that. The world has declared it as an indigenous sanctuary and void from all government. One only place that exists today that a system does not occupy and control, that is in the form of government. Enough love for that. And the indigenous people over there are ranging in the hundreds of thousands. And the island is free from exploitation of the wicked system that is called government. You know what I mean? So for your information, people, if you want to be wise and you want to have some knowledge, you take a hold of this that I'm sending you and digest it. Take it as pot food. There are no independent nation unless you're not in your proper person, and if you don't have your land and your resources at your pleasure, and if you're carrying a foreign identity that is classified as a government state, you're a fake. As long as you're falling under the jurisdiction of a citizen, you're fake. You're not independent. You need to wake up. You're a slave, because that's what derived from slavery. Do not fool yourself about independence. Independence don't work like that. You have to have everything at your pleasure, your land, your resources, your true identity, and your land has to have its original name given by your indigenous ancestors. If you're carrying a foreign corporative name that is derived from slavery, that is now presently known as a government or a state, you're not independent. Stop fooling yourself. It's an illusion. Wake up. The only independent state is Papua New Guinea. And I end it like this. Smell the coffee. Wake up out of your sleep. You're all sleeping in an illusion.